Just now we touched on the topic of imaginary number. Now let's look at this quadratic equation again. We want to find the roots of this quadratic equation. And we are going to use the formula method. This one, this formula. So we plug in the numbers. B is 3. So 3 here, and then B is 3. 4A, A is 1. So 1. C is 9. So 9 here. And then A is 1. Right, now let's look at this part. 3 squared is 9. 4 times 9 is 36. So we have 9 minus 36. 9 minus 36 is negative 25. So we have square root of negative 25. Now this square root of negative 25 is called imaginary number. There is no real number where it multiplies itself and we get negative 25. Now, what is imaginary number? Imaginary number is not number that exists only in our wild imagination. Let's look at negative number. In our real world, we only see 1 apple, 2 apples, 3 apples. We never see negative 3 apples. We see 1 meter, 2 meter, 3 meter. We never see negative 3 meters. But then, we can give different meanings to negative numbers. And there are many uses of negative numbers in mathematics. So in this sense, we don't see imaginary number in real world. But then, there are uses of imaginary number in mathematics. For imaginary number square root of negative 1, we are going to use I to represent it. If we have square root of negative 16, this is an imaginary number. This can be written as square root of 16 times negative 1. Square root of 16 is 4. And we are going to use I to represent square root of negative 1. So square root of negative 16 can be written as 4i. Here, 4 is a real number, whereas I is an imaginary number. Now let's look back at the root of this equation. This square root of negative 25 can be written as square root of 25 times negative 1, which becomes 5i. So the roots of this equation is negative 3 plus minus 5i over 2. Or negative 1.5 plus minus 2.5i. 1.5 and 2.5 are real numbers, but I is an imaginary number.